Hello guys, welcome to my channel This Recap. Today I'm going to explain 2010 horror thriller movie called Six Souls. Kara, a psychiatrist, believes that multiple personality disorder is a psychological fad. Afterward, Kara calls her daughter Sam, who is being locked after by her uncle Stefan, back home. When Kara is on the way to the airport, she receives a phone call from her father, who also is a psychiatrist, Dr. Harding. He tells her that he will pick her up at the airport to meet with a patient who suspected to have multiple personality disorder. At the hospital, Kara explains that her dad only gives her some medical oddities and perhaps including this time. Harding argues that this case has a whole new kind of act. Just then, Kara sits with a patient on a wheelchair named David. He tells Kara that his legs are disabled due to a car accident when he was young. Kara does some standard visual tests, including ones with multiple small circles in a pattern, where the number 16 and 73 are clearly visible to normal-sighted people. After some basic tests, Kara comes out to tell her dad that David is completely normal. Harding tells Kara to wait for a moment and makes a phone call to the room. When David picks up the phone, Dr. Harding asks David to talk with Adam. David first says that there is no Adam with him. Suddenly, a loud noise is heard in the room. Kara is shocked, but she returns to the room under her father's request. Here, Kara meets with Adam, who transforms from David mysteriously. She proceeds to do the same test, but Adam behaves quietly, rudely, and doesn't answer it correctly. He confronts Kara about her husband's tragic death, attempting to hurt her feelings. When Kara shows a card of green circles varying slightly with nothing visible, Adam says it is a number 7. Kara notes and places red film over the card, making a 7 clear. She then asks him if he is a colorblind, and he admits to red deficiency since birth. Adam even stands up. He can walk despite being immobilized by a wheelchair movements earlier as David. Later, Kara tells Harding that Adam must be the host and David is the alter. The whole case is just Adam's imagination. She complains to her dad that it was much easier for her to meet with Adam first. The two pick up Sam home from Stefan. Harding hands Kara a box of Adam's file so she can take a deeper look. Kara becomes attached to this case. Soon after that, as her father insists there is something very strange about Adam, Kara meets with Dr. Charles. He first met with David and later transferred the case to Harding when David became Adam back and forth. At this point, Charles' neck has some blisters. Kara sees that the two X-rays taken strangely are different, although David and Adam share the same body. However, Kara still believes Adam just make up everything about David and she will prove it. Later, she talks to Charles about the health files of Adam. Strangely, he becomes very sick and the skin is badly rotten. He even vomits black dust out of his mouth. There is a mysterious shadow passing his house at the time. The next morning, Kara follows David's information and finds the way to his house. She meets with his mother and learns that David was a real person who became a paraplegic after an accident. His mother reveals that David was murdered long ago in the woods, being abused and severely tortured by Satan-worshipping mountain witches. Kara reveals to the woman about Adam, who self-proclaimed him as David. David's mother is a highly religious person. She believes Adam is possessed and she will help Kara cure him. Back home, Kara concludes to her father that Adam just creates a delusion and begins carrying around a mental picture of David since he was young. The next morning, Kara introduces Adam to David's mother. At this point, he is the real Adam and does not know David's mother. When the phone rings, Adam transforms to David after a very painful convulsion. David talks to his mother in tears, saying that he misses her so much. As the mother is skeptical, David gives her all the details and secrets that only two of them could know. David's mother becomes scared, saying he is evil and lives in extreme sadness. Several days later, Kara decides to bring David to the mountain where he was murdered. David recalls the horrible nights and suddenly becomes frightened, saying that the evil is coming. Kara decides to call for help. Just as she turns around, David transforms again. However, this time it is not Adam. He reveals himself to be Wesley, another personality. Kara again finds that Wesley, a metal band singer, is dead long ago due to suicide. She meets with Wes in the room. He asks her if she believes in science or God. Kara answers that she considers herself a doctor of science, but a woman of God. When Kara shows him an article about his suicide, West remembers the night he was in a car. However, he becomes scared and shakes. He cracks his head backward and returns to David again. David tells Kara that evil has been around. Kara is convinced that Adam again created another alternative for his mental problem. She finds the way to Adam's house. There she finds a decomposing body. Kara immediately calls the police and reporting Adam as a murderer. She goes to pick up Sam at the saucer field, only to find her with Adam. Kara becomes mad, treating Adam not to approach her family. However, Adam reveals to be Dr. Charles, the fourth personality to be seen. At home, Kara asks Sam about the convo between her and the man. He asks Sam about her faith in God. Sam tells him that since God could not do anything to save her father, she does not believe anymore. Sam says her grandpa also has no trust in God. Kara finds some rash on Sam's back, thinking it as allergy. Later, Kara talks about the incident at Sam's school with her dad. When Kara tells about Adam lied himself to be Charles, Harding reveals that Dr. Charles is dead without any reason. Kara is shocked because he seemed very well several days ago. At this point, Harding suffers from bed coughing just like Charles before. Kara watches over the tapes of Adam again. She notices a huge shadow absorbing Adam while he is sleeping. The next day, Adam is arrested about the body in his house. The detective asks about a strange symbol in the back of the body. However, Adam denies all the charges. Kara realizes she has seen it at David's house and in the mountain before. She meets with David's mother again about the symbol, who eventually shows her the way to meet with a witch-blind doctor named Granny in the Witch Mountain. However, Granny does not want to take to her and send her away. Kara sneaks back and sees Granny cutting open an old man, sucking out his soul and blowing it into a container with a strange symbol on it. Granny then takes out a cancerous lump from his body and sews him up before blowing the soul back into him. The old man wakes up seemingly fine as if he was never ill. The witch doctor turns and asks Kara if she still only believes in science. Granny says that the symbol is the writing of the mountain and is the shelter. Later at night, Stephen lets her know that the shadow in the tape is actually a sound wave of a freaking voice. He then tells Kara to see a man for the exact answers. Kara pays a visit to a man who tells a childhood story, showing Kara a mute home movie recorded by his father. A long time ago, a priest named Christian Moore came to his city to preach about God, although he himself did not believe. The priest said witchcraft and pagan ritual were unnecessary and people could be healed by faith. The flu broke out in town, but people believed the priest. When they discovered that the priest was an unbeliever who had vaccinated his two daughters and left the town people die, they killed his daughters. Granny sucked his soul and blew into the air, then filled his mouth with dust so that it could not come back. She cursed his body to be a shelter to the faithless. The police tells Kara that they released Adam to her father and that the body in his house was the real Adam. Kara looks at the screen and sees Adam in the midst of the influenza epidemic. He is the faithless priest Christian Moore. Meanwhile, Adam, who is now Christian, is returned to Dr. Harding. Kara soon realizes his plan and calls her dad, but it is too late. Christian has killed Harding and posed in his body. Helpless, Kara calls Stephen and tells her about her discoveries. He tells her that Sam is ill, just like Charles and their father, and that a strange symbol is burned on her back. Kara asks him to take Sam to Granny. However, the uncle and niece are then confronted by Christian, who insists on being Harding. Stephen is knocked out and injured in the stomach. Kara tells Sam to pull the call on his speaker and demands to speak to Christian. At this point, Christian transforms back into David and collapses as he needs a wheelchair. Stephen and Sam eventually escape. The three reunite and rush to see Granny. Kara holds Sam and tells Stephen to hang in there with the wound. However, Granny says she can't help because Sam herself does not believe in God. Sam will be sheltered with the other faithless soul. As Christian enters the house, Kara holds Sam back to Stephen, who is already dead. The mother and daughter run away from Christian deep to the woods. Sam vomits dust from her mouth, signaling the transformation. Christian arrives and knocks Kara to black out, eventually hiding in Sam's body. Kara wakes up seeing Sam now is in Christian's body. She holds her daughter in hand for a moment. Suddenly, she strangles the man before piercing him through a root from the ground, attempting to release all the souls in Christian's body. At this point, Sam revives to Kara's surprises. However, the girl's eyes reveals to be Christians. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching. If you like it, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel.